You think logic makes your decisions? It doesn't. Your patterns do. And most of them were built before you were old enough to question them. We have 5 bullet points. Look at that game. And what we're gonna be speedrunning it. All right. First, emotion is not the opposite of logic. It's what logic runs on top of. Think of them as and just an entire racetrack in general. There's the pit, and then there's the main track, right? Think of logic as the main track and the emotional as the pit. The pit is where you go to recover your tires and fix your car with any damage, fill up, recover it, basically. And the main track, logic, is basically where most of the activity is happening, right? Now, I'm not sure how great of an analogy that was, but I think your comprehension is high enough to understand that. You don't feel first and think second. You think through what you already feel. Now let that sit with you. You think through what you already feel. It means you recognize exactly what's going on with you, but you're simply thinking through it. Either you're trying your best to avoid it, or you're letting it slowly sink in, whatever it may be. Temptations, lots of things. It can apply to anything. Second, patterns form early, before you have the capacity to question them. Repetition, pain, what got rewarded or ignored growing up. That's like how, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put something crazy out here. That's like how a lot of younger kids were exposed to suggestive adult content. Hold on, I have to put my ringtone on mm, zero because lots of notifications. But exactly what I said. And because those kids were, well, I was one of them, but because you were sort of exposed to it, it sort of made its own area in your mind at one point in your life. And it's not a good one always. No. And it can also apply to if obedience gives you reward, if going against the ruler, you could say, of the household, like how all of these things affect you personally. And by the time you're old enough to reason, the pattern's already driving you. That means by the time you're able to recognize that it's a problem, it's already been like it's already been active for a long period. 3, what looks unlogical from the outside is actually logical to an old version of you that doesn't exist anymore. This basically means that your past does stick with you, just not in the way you assume. Let's say your old versions of yourself. The logic you possess then is carried over when you become somebody, something else, which basically means You are every past version of yourself in a couple different ways. You can't erase your old logic. It's something you it's not something you think past either. It's something that either defines who you are, who you're becoming, or it doesn't. It's not illogical. It's logical to someone you used to be, and that's innocent, safe, and reasonable to you, right? Four, most people don't use logic to think clearly. They use it to defend what they already decided emotionally. This means this certain decisions you make, like based on how you feel, you use logic to defend that feeling. No, defend the action you took because of how you felt. And that also plays into it with the emotion by itself. Hold on. And number five. Well, first let's give you the last part of number four. Logic isn't always thinking. Sometimes it's just the excuse. Number five. The pattern doesn't break by suppressing emotion or worshiping logic. It breaks when you can name it while it's happening, not after, which means addressing something doesn't erase it. You know it's there, but when you can name how it's affecting you, what it's doing while it's doing it, instead of after it happens, you catch it in the process of controlling you. You don't beat the pattern by feeling less. You beat it by catching it earlier. Kitty cat. And that's everything.